Welcome to Conflict Explained, a series dedicated to dissecting the world's most critical flashpoints. Today, we turn our attention to a conflict that has shaped generations, sparked regional wars, and captivated global consciousness: the struggle between Israelis and Palestinians. To truly understand its ongoing impact, we must go back to its origins, tracing the historical threads that have woven this complex and often tragic narrative. The roots of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict are deeply intertwined with history, identity, and claims to the same land. Both Jewish people and Palestinians trace their heritage to the ancient land known historically as Judea, the land of Israel, or Palestine. For Jews, the connection is rooted in thousands of years of religious and cultural history, with Jerusalem being their holiest city and the land considered their ancestral homeland from which they were exiled. The concept of Zionism, emerging in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, advocated for the return of Jews to their ancestral homeland to establish a sovereign Jewish state, offering a refuge from centuries of persecution in Europe. At the same time, Palestine was predominantly inhabited by Arab communities, who also had lived in the region for centuries. They developed their own distinct national identity, considering Palestine their homeland. They viewed the influx of Jewish immigrants, particularly those driven by Zionist ideals, as an intrusion into their existing society and land. The geopolitical context of the early 20th century further complicated matters. With the decline of the Ottoman Empire during World War I, Britain gained control over Palestine. In 1917, Britain issued the Balfour Declaration, publicly supporting the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, while also stating that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities. This declaration, as analyzed by the Council on Foreign Relations, laid conflicting foundations, promising a homeland to one group without fully clarifying the rights and future of the other, setting the stage for future contention. The pivotal moment, and arguably the genesis of the modern conflict, was the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. Following World War II and the Holocaust, international pressure for a Jewish homeland intensified. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan to divide mandatory Palestine into separate Arab and Jewish states, with Jerusalem as an international city. This plan was accepted by Jewish leaders but rejected by Arab leaders, who viewed it as an unjust division of their land. When the British mandate ended on May 14, 1948, Jewish leaders declared the establishment of the State of Israel. Immediately, armies from neighboring Arab states, Egypt, Jordan, Syria, and Iraq, invaded, launching the First Arab-Israeli War. By the war's end in 1949, Israel had secured its independence and expanded beyond the UN-proposed borders, controlling approximately 78% of historical Palestine. The remaining territory, the West Bank, came under Jordanian control, and the Gaza Strip under Egyptian control. This period saw the displacement of approximately 700,000 Palestinians, who either fled or were expelled from their homes, becoming refugees in neighboring countries or within the newly formed State of Israel. Palestinians refer to this mass displacement as the Nakba, or catastrophe, a seminal event in their national narrative. The UN Relief and Works Agency, UNRWA, initially established to aid these refugees, continues its work to this day. The period following 1948 was marked by a series of major conflicts and the lasting reality of Israeli occupation. The 1967 Six-Day War dramatically reshaped the map. In a swift military victory, Israel captured the West Bank and East Jerusalem from Jordan, the Gaza Strip and Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, and the Golan Heights from Syria. This conquest meant that Israel now militarily occupied all the territories of historic Palestine, along with strategic lands from its neighbors. Following 1967, Israel began establishing settlements in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. These settlements, built on occupied land, are considered illegal under international law by most of the international community, including the United States, although the U.S. has at times adjusted its diplomatic stance on their legality. The growth of these settlements remains a major point of contention and a significant obstacle to a future Palestinian state. Palestinian resistance to occupation evolved. The Palestine Liberation Organization, or PLO, formed in 1964, emerged as the primary representative of the Palestinian people. It initially advocated for armed struggle, but later recognized Israel's right to exist in exchange for a Palestinian state in the West Bank and Gaza. However, various other Palestinian groups emerged, some, like Hamas, engaging in armed resistance and refusing to recognize Israel. Despite the cycles of violence, there have been numerous attempts at achieving peace, most notably the Oslo Accords in the 1990s. The Oslo Accords, signed in 1993 and 1995, were groundbreaking. They established the Palestinian Authority, granting it limited self-governance in parts of the West Bank and Gaza, and outlined a roadmap for a permanent peace agreement. Hopes were high, but fundamental disagreements persisted. Core issues such as the final status of Jerusalem, the borders of a Palestinian state, the fate of Palestinian refugees, and Israeli settlements proved intractable. Subsequent efforts, including the Camp David Summit in 2000, also faltered. A major contributing factor to these failures has been a deep lack of trust between the two sides, often exacerbated by continued Israeli settlement expansion, Palestinian acts of violence, and the assassination of key leaders. Public support for compromise also waned on both sides, amidst continued conflict and political shifts. The United States Institute of Peace highlights how domestic politics within both Israeli and Palestinian leaderships have often undermined opportunities for breakthrough. Today, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is characterized by profound challenges and a highly uncertain future. The current situation in Gaza, following recent military operations, is dire, with widespread destruction, a severe humanitarian crisis, and a population facing famine conditions, as detailed by UN agencies. In the West Bank, continued Israeli settlement expansion and daily friction contribute to persistent tension. Key obstacles to a lasting peace, as outlined by the Council on Foreign Relations and the RAND Corporation, include political fragmentation. The deep division between the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank and Hamas in Gaza complicates any unified Palestinian peace efforts. Continued settlement expansion. The growth of Israeli settlements is widely viewed as undermining the viability of a two-state solution. Status of Jerusalem. Both sides claim Jerusalem as their capital. Refugee issue. The right of return for Palestinian refugees remains a contentious point. Security concerns. Israel's paramount security concerns in a volatile region. Erosion of trust. Decades of violence, failed talks, and changing political landscapes have severely eroded trust on both sides. Experts offer varying assessments on the conflict's future. The two-state solution, envisioning an independent Palestinian state alongside Israel, remains the internationally favored outcome, supported by the United States. However, its feasibility is increasingly questioned due to the realities on the ground. Other scenarios include a one-state solution, either a single binational state or a single state with one group dominant, or a continuation of the status quo, a prolonged conflict without a clear resolution. Most analysts agree that without a fundamental shift in political will and a renewed commitment to addressing the core issues, the cycle of conflict is likely to persist. Our team at Global Crossroads pours extensive research and analysis into every video, aiming to bring you the most accurate and insightful understanding of these complex global forces. If you find this in-depth breakdown valuable and want to stay ahead in a rapidly changing world, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Your support makes this crucial work possible. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a testament to the enduring power of history, identity, and competing national narratives. Its trajectory continues to shape the Middle East and resonate globally. Understanding its complex origins and current challenges is crucial for anyone seeking to comprehend the forces shaping our interconnected world. Subscribe to Global Crossroads and stay informed on the issues that truly matter.